Senior Moments, sponsored by the Empowering Seniors Group on News Talk KVNU, 102 FM and 610 AM.
Good morning. This is the Senior Moment Show. I'm your host, Sid Roeder, visiting today with Dawn Reed. Good morning, Dawn.
Good morning.
It's good to have you here. Dawn is the Community Relations Director at Maple Springs Assisted Living Facility. Did I say that right?
Yes. Yep, exactly.
Awesome. I'm so grateful you're here. But first, I need to talk about our sponsor quickly. Our sponsor is the Empowering Seniors Group, which is a group of professionals that has dedicated their time and effort to provide information to seniors, their family members, and anyone who likes to listen to us. And Maple Springs actually is a sponsor and a member of the Empowering Seniors Group. So we're extra happy that you're here today, Dawn.
Well, thank you. I'm glad to be here.
Yeah. And some of our listeners may have heard you before when we talk about Maple Springs, but for those that haven't, let's maybe hear a little bit about your background, where you're from, and why you do what you do.
Yeah, absolutely. So I am from the Valley. I grew up. Is this what you're wanting about
yes.
me? Okay,
Yeah,
I was
absolutely.
like, wait a second. Am I talking about myself? So I am actually from the Valley. I grew up mostly up in Dayton, Idaho, so just over the border. But when I was in college, I took a job working at an assisted living facility, and I worked in the kitchen and did some housekeeping. And I found that I loved working with seniors. When I first took that job, I was kind of like, I'm not sure how to be around this population. You know, I've only really been around my grandparents. But I found that I absolutely loved the people, and found out you just talk to them like normal people. And they have so many life experiences to share and so much wisdom. And they don't feel old, you know, they're still young at heart, and they have so much to offer. And so I just found that I loved working with the elderly. And my background is not necessarily anything to do with geriatrics. I'm a dietitian by training, but I ended up working for the state, and I used to inspect assisted living facilities for the state of Utah. I worked for the Utah Department of Health, and there was this position going to be coming available at Maple Springs, and I was actually there surveying during our lovely COVID time, and so was doing an inspection and was told about this position and thought about it for the next several months and decided that it was time for me to come home. And I loved Maple Springs. I was always very impressed with it when I was there doing inspections, and loved the administration and just how they ran their building. And so I decided to go ahead and take that job, and I've been there for almost 3 years now, and I just love it. I love everything about it. I love our residents and our staff and the families, and it's just fun. It's a good place to work. I don't, on Sunday evenings, I'm not dreading going to work the next day. So that's very nice.
That's a good thing. And every time I've spoken with you, I feel like it really shows that you love your job and your environment there, including your how do you say that? Is it clients, patient? It's not a patient, right?
Our residents.
Residents. There you go. I was looking for the right word.
Yeah.
Sorry. I'm going to claim the cultural card on that one.
That's okay. That's okay.
And I do agree. I love spending time with seniors. We actually do have some plans in the near future to invite some of your residents as guests on the show, and maybe have them share a little bit of their life story and wisdom with us. So maybe, we're looking forward to that.
Yeah.
But let's talk a little bit. We've been on a fun note, so maybe we'll just dive right into some of the fun stuff, because before we talked for this show what we're going to talk about, and we talked about some of the fun activities that you have at Maple.
Mm-hmm. Yes. So each month we have activities during the week, but each month we have a bigger activity that our activity staff put on, and we have some pretty fun ones coming up. This next month in April, we are going to be doing our Oscar night, and So they go all out. We have our residents dress up. The activity staff, they decorate our lobby and the entrance into our theater. We bring in a bunch of extra chairs and just have a fun movie celebration and watch a fun old movie and whatnot. So they do a really beautiful job with that. And then we have our annual softball game coming up in May. We have a courtyard outside of our building, and it's a nice grassy area. So we have a tee set up. So our residents will stand up and either hit off the tee, or sometimes they're pitched to. They can kind of choose. And then we have our staff members running bases, and we have staff members out fielding. Our administrator is out there being the pitcher a lot of the times, and we've got snacks and Cracker Jacks and decorations and music and things. So it's just really fun, and it's kind of a welcome spring. We're finally being able to get outside and usually enjoy the sunshine. They've been sunny each year that I've been here, so hopefully it'll be good weather this year too.
Yeah, that sounds like a blast. Yeah, I had actually, before the show, I had asked you, and I've got to share this with our listeners, because I did see that video on YouTube where an assisted living facilities had their employees dressed like trees and deer, and they had a deer hunt on, and you told me you guys did that too.
Yes, that was one of my favorite things that we've ever done there. It was so much fun. We gathered every fake tree from our facility, and we have quite a few. But we set up a forest, and we had 3 of our employees dressed up in deer costumes, and our residents had Nerf guns. And oh my goodness, we were all laughing so hard. It was so fun. I got great pictures of our residents just smiling and laughing, and there were a few of us staff members. I was gladly the photographer. I stayed out of the middle of that one. But I was the photographer, and it was so fun. We were just all laughing and had a great time as our residents were just pounding out, shooting our deer, and it was so fun. There was one gentleman that he doesn't come to a lot of activities, and he's generally more reserved, but he had a great time, and I got some great pictures of him just beaming. And so I was like, if nothing else, it was worth it just for him to come and do that. So yeah, we had a ton of fun shooting some deer in our facility.
That sounds like, so is that going to end up being a yearly tradition that you have the deer hunt going on?
It very well could be, and I kind of hope it is, because it was fabulous. And yeah, I think the residents would totally be on board for it again. So
that's great. Yeah, I think some things need to become a tradition. We're already at the first break of our radio show here. So Donna, I want to give you a quick chance to mention the location and the phone number for Maple.
Sure. We are located at 350 East, 2200 North in North Logan. And our phone number is 435-753-9400.
So if somebody wants to move in and participate in the deer hunt in, I'm assuming, is October, that's the phone number to call.
Yep. Yes, indeed. Get in touch with me.
Yeah. Thanks, Dawn. This is the Senior Moments Show. Again, we are sponsored by the Empowering Seniors Group. If you'd like to learn more about them, you can do so online at empoweringseniors.info. We're going to take a short break. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
This is Mark Thurston with White Pine Funeral Services. The best time to plan is when you have time to plan. Having a pre-arranged funeral gives peace of mind for everyone involved. White Pine will customize your final wishes to fit your needs, from a traditional burial to cremation to a custom headstone. White Pine also accepts pre-arranged plans from other mortuaries, and we will absorb any transfer or revocation fees. No penalty to you. Visit whitepinefunerals.com or come and see us for more information.
White Pine Funeral Services, here when you need us most.
It's tough knowing how to care for an aging parent. Mom has always been there for me, but now I need to be there for her. When we found out she needed surgery, I wondered how I could attend to her needs and still be mom to my kids. I was so relieved to learn about transitional rehab at Maple Springs in North Logan. From the nurses to the physical therapists, it was like their whole staff was focused on helping Mom get better. Maple Springs in North Logan was an answer to my prayers.
Learn more at maplespringsnorthlogan.com or call 753-9400.
You have a lot of options when it comes to buying or selling a home. Do you list it online, sell it yourself, or do you have a realtor help? It's a major financial and emotional decision. A realtor is the liaison between buyers and sellers and really helps you navigate complex contracts, deadlines, and disclosures.
Hi, this is Sid Roeder with Achievement Realty.
I work for you to get the best outcome for your situation. Let me earn your trust with a free consultation and a free market analysis. Call me today at 512-6406. Then list it, sell it, and move on.
Hi, this is Bruce with Comfort Care. One of the ways we help loved ones stay in their home is by assisting with daily tasks. These may include bathing, meal preparation, medication reminders, and housekeeping. We even help with shopping, transportation, and errands. Most of all, we offer a trusted level of care. Let us help you live your best life possible with Comfort Care. This is Bruce, and you can call me at 754-7676. Comfort Care, 754-7676.
Welcome back. This is the Senior Moment Show. I'm your host, Sid Roeder, and in the first segment, I was talking to Dawn Reed. She is the Community Relations Director at Maple Springs here in North Logan. And we've talked a little bit about some of the activities at Maple Springs. We've talked about the deer hunt that you had for the first time.
Yep.
And the softball game that happens in April. But there are some other fun activities that are going to come up this year that you do in your facility that we haven't heard about.
Yeah, so in June, we have our Kentucky Derby that we're going to be doing. And we have a pasture out next to our facility, and one of our owners brings over some horses and some people to ride the horses. And last year was our first Kentucky Derby, and all of the ladies made big hats, and we had a lot of great food. We had our rehab therapy staff out there racing some broom horses. So that was quite the sight to behold. And so we'll be having that in June, which it will be a great time. And then in July, we have our annual luau planned. So good food, nice sunshine. It's always a really good time.
So do you, on those activity days, do you also allow family members to be present there and participate, or is that only for your residents?
We do have families that come and participate with us. Yep.
Okay.
They're welcome to come.
And do you ever need volunteers for any of the activities that you're grateful if somebody comes in and helps with something?
We don't typically have volunteers helping with our bigger activities, but we do love people to come in and volunteer to spend time with our residents. We've had a couple people reach out recently saying, I would love to come and crochet with residents, or I know how to do this, or I know how to do this. And we love that. So yeah, volunteers are more than welcome, but generally our activity staff have it down and are just running their tails off and just making it happen.
It sounds like a fun place.
Yeah, we have a good time.
That's great. So maybe we can talk a little bit, because I know every time I encounter seniors, there seems to be some misunderstandings on what the difference is between an assisted living facility and skilled nursing and independent living. Maybe you can share some thoughts on that.
Sure. Yeah, I get a lot of questions about that as well. People will come in and I say, well, are you looking for assisted living or skilled nursing? And they say, I don't know, let me tell you my situation, and then you can tell me what we're looking for. So at Maple Springs, we don't have independent living, but that is a place where a lot of people like to start. So independent living is generally just essentially you're renting an apartment. There's not the aides to come and help with any kind of cares. But they provide food and housekeeping and some activities, some transportation. But again, you're completely independent. You're more on your own, and there's not that help at the click of a button. The next level up, I guess, is assisted living. So we do have assisted living at Maple Springs. We have CNAs 24/7. And all of our residents have a call button to where when they push that button, our aides are coming to help with whatever they might need. We're able to help with any ADLs, which are activities of daily living. We can help with showering, with going to the bathroom, dressing, grooming, anything like that. Our aides are able to help with that as people start to need more assistance. We do still have several residents that are largely completely independent and don't need very much help. But it is nice to already be there when you do start to need that assistance. We also have memory care, which from a state licensure aspect falls under the same regulations as an assisted living. So it falls under that umbrella. And memory care is for those that are at risk of, perhaps wandering out of the facility. They need closer supervision, things like that. Maybe need more basic activities that are better for people with Alzheimer's and dementia. So we do have that memory care unit that has a higher staff to resident ratio and is more tailored for those with memory issues, obviously. And then we also have skilled nursing, which is a nursing home, but we're able to provide long-term care for those residents who are not able to safely be at home and need more help than what we are able to give in an assisted living. So if somebody, is bedbound and they need a lift to get out of bed or things like that to transfer from a bed to a chair, they are able to provide those cares. In assisted living, people have to be a one-person assist in order to be there. So at the point somebody needs two people to help them, or if they have a need that can only be taken care of by a licensed nurse or a registered nurse, they need to be in skilled nursing. So that's what we provide there. Again, we have the CNAs 24/7, nurses 24/7. It is our highest level of care that we offer. We offer that for long-term, and then we also have rehab that falls under that skilled nursing umbrella, to where we have physical therapy, occupational therapy, and speech therapy, to where people can come after surgery or after a fall and can get that rehab and hopefully get home. We do have some people that decide to stay and transition to assisted living. We do have some that end up needing to stay that are not able to rehab and go home. So it's nice to kind of have that all in one building where people can age in place. So we do have a lot to offer, and that's kind of the differences between them. Hopefully that was clear enough.
I think that explains a lot. We're almost up on our second break, but really just because this is fresh on my mind with my parents, do you, because I know you welcome people coming and looking at the facility, do you recommend for people to maybe grab their parents and have a walk through, maybe even years before they reach that point, to kind of get an idea on how your facility works and if they would be comfortable there?
I absolutely do. We're full continuously on our assisted living, and I do have some people that come in and are, urgently looking for something, and at that point I'm not necessarily able to help them because I don't have anything available. So even if it's something that you're just considering your parents might need in the future, it definitely doesn't hurt to just get out there and see what places there are and see what feels comfortable. So I absolutely recommend doing that sooner than later.
Perfect. And is just really quick before we step out, is that something they can just come in and ask for it, or is it better scheduled?
Either way, I am there Monday through Friday. If I'm not there, somebody else can give a tour, but we do have walk-ins and I have people that schedule. So it really doesn't matter. I'm just happy to show people.
Perfect. So for our listeners, maybe you want to grab a pen and paper. After the break, we'll make sure to have Dawn mention the contact information and the location again. This is the Senior Moments Show. We're going to take a short break. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Reed's Pharmacy in Hiram offers free delivery service 5 days a week, Monday through Friday throughout the Valley. Just stay home and they will deliver to you. With 25 different suppliers, they won't have the shortage that others might have. Also, with compounding and many other services, they will be able to serve all your needs. In order to stay safe and help slow the spread, please call Reed's Pharmacy in Hiram at 245-DRUG, and they will take care of you.
At Maple Springs Senior Living in North Logan, we understand that entrusting the care of your loved one to someone else is a decision not taken lightly. That's why we go above and beyond to create a nurturing environment where your family becomes our family.
When I found Maple Springs, it was like a weight lifted off my shoulders. The staff here really cares, and Mom is thriving.
The activities and social events have brought so much joy to Dad's life. I can see a positive change every time I visit.
We know that your loved one's well-being is your top priority, and it's ours too. Learn more at maplesprings.living.com.
Did you know 1 in 3 people will visit a nursing home? Did you know that once there, they will stay there for an average of 3 years? Did you also know there are insurance options that can help cover this experience? Hi, I'm Tracy Ferris with Blue Water Health Insurance. It's not cheap to stay in a full-fledged nursing home. Long-term care insurance can help you or a loved one get the care they need and deserve. If you wait until you need it, you may be too late. Give me a call at 435-890-8155.
Welcome back. This is the Senior Moment Show. I'm your host today, Sid Roeder, and I'm visiting with Dawn Reed. She is the Community Relations Director at Maple Springs Assisted Living Facility in North Logan. Welcome back, Dawn.
Thank you.
We've been talking about a lot of the fun things at Maple Springs. I did learn today, even though we've had you on before, that you have some of the funnest activities, like the deer hunt in October and a softball game in April.
Yep.
So that's super exciting. And we've talked a little bit about maybe preparing for that time in your life and visiting the assisted living facilities a while before you reach it, so to also have an idea on the wait lists and if you would maybe like it there. And one of the things I learned from Dawn in the break is that you do have what you call transition room.
Yes, we do. So we have a handful of rooms in our skilled nursing that we can essentially use as if somebody needs to urgently get into our assisted living. But like I said, we do stay pretty full. We do have some rooms in our skilled nursing that we are able to utilize at essentially an adjusted rate. So it's not the full skilled nursing cost. And they are able to move in and be on our in-house wait list. And that generally will help get them into assisted living quicker. And so we have had some families that can no longer care for their loved one, and they're pretty set on coming to Maple Springs, and so they utilize that transition space and are able to move into our assisted living. So it's something that we offer, and it's still fairly new that we decided to use some rooms for that, but it's worked really well for some residents that have really needed that care.
That's fabulous. And before we went into our last break, I promised for our listeners that if they're interested to have a look at Maple Springs, that I would allow you to get the phone number and the address out again.
Yeah, our address is 350 East, 2200 North in North Logan, and our website is maplesprings.living.com, and our phone number is 435-753-9400.
Thank you, Dawn. Another thing that I'd asked you during the break is, because I know that some of the independent living facilities have those too, if you have any rooms that your residents can rent, if they maybe have a little bit more family coming, then what can squeeze in their private room. And you do actually have some options there.
We do. We have a few different spaces that people are able to reserve, which is really fun. And we have a lot of families that utilize that, especially around the holidays, but all throughout the year as well. So we do have a private dining room that is secluded off of our main dining room. We have a big table in there that I think can fit 12 people. And we've had a lot of families that will bring in, birthday cake and have little birthday parties in there for residents and things like that. So yeah, that can be used. We also have our movie theater that can be reserved. We've only had that reserved a couple times, but for instance, we had a family reserve it for the Super Bowl. So they got to watch it on a huge screen. They brought in food and popcorn and got to, got to watch it in comfy chairs and just had a great time. We also have a big room that's called the Cove. It's our main activity room, so we use that quite a bit, but it has a full kitchen. It has a TV area where people can sit and watch that. We also had that reserved for the Super Bowl. We have chairs and tables that people can set up. So we've had some pretty big parties in there, and we have a resident that reserves it. I think it's for the third Sunday of each month, and she makes a big roast and her whole family comes, and I'm like, I love seeing that kitchen utilized. I mean, we do cooking demonstrations in it each week, but it's fun to have residents actually use it. So yeah, we have that space, and then when it's warm enough outside, people are able to utilize our patio, which has tables and chairs set up. We have a fire pit, and then we have a grill. So we've had a lot of people reserve it, on like Mother's Day or Father's Day, and they'll be out there cooking steaks for their family or hamburgers and whatnot. So yeah, we do have those common spaces that people can reserve. And we actually have had inquiries about somebody like hosting a wedding reception there and stuff like that. So we might be venturing out into hosting more external events as well. So but yeah, it's fun to have those spaces where families can come and be together outside of the residence room, because it can be pretty cramped if you bring in more than, a handful of people. So
yeah, absolutely. And I can imagine it also makes it nicer for the family in a more familiar, more fun setting, as you said, with options to bring food, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah.
That just sounds like a great thing. Yeah, you'll have to let me know if you venture out and allow. I can imagine that might be a nice spectacle for your residents.
Yeah, they'd enjoy watching.
If there's a wedding going on, they'd be glued to their windows.
Yeah.
That is awesome. Dawn, sadly, we are coming up to the end of our show, so I do want to give you one last chance to mention the phone number in case somebody would like to get in touch with you.
Yeah, our phone number is 435-753-9400.
Thank you, Dawn. Thanks for coming in. It's been fun. It's been fun to learn about some of the extra activities. And before we head out, let me also mention our sponsor one more time, which is the Empowering Seniors Group. If you'd like to learn more about them, you can do so online at empoweringseniors.info. And if you want to reach me personally, you can call me at 435-512-6406. This is the Senior Moment Show. We hope you tune in again next week.